Why do we do the shit that we do? Like, there's some things that each of us do that are like can't explain why we do them, but we do them consistently and seemingly without any external motivation. This is something that I was studying for years before I ever heard about human design. I was doing this through Reiki, I was doing it through men's retreats and different kinds of spiritual practices, tarot, astrology, you name it. But when I found human design, like something clicked. When I saw my body graph for the first time, I was like, oh, here's a map that I can actually learn how to read. And I was totally overwhelmed by this, like I'm sure a lot of people are in the beginning. But what I recognized was this system of like nodes being connected, because it reminded me of streets, and I can use a GPS. It reminded me of hardware and circuits on like a guitar or an amplifier, which I fucked around with as a kid. I could get down with that. And in so many ways, this unlocked a path of spirituality that was grounded enough for me to actually get good at. Now, of course, knowing all this stuff is just the very beginning. The next step of human design is not going to be who knows all this shit, but who can recognize the gates and the hexagrams and the definition or lack of definition in beings around them. That's the real skill that you want to develop. All this is just pointing to that skill right there. And of course, it makes sense to learn all of this stuff. So here is no bullshit, the best ways to go about learning about your human design. Now, the very best way, if you actually want to learn the language of human design and not just learn about yourself, is to actually download Neutrino Design. That's where this graphic is from. You can literally touch 45.5, 31 point. You can touch them and it'll bring up information about that. You could touch the gates. It's very interactive and very sleek. Now, this actually ties for number one because it's a different style of learning. Instead of wanting to learn the language, let's say you're the type of person that just wants everything that's relevant to you spelled out and put in a PDF. That's where my reports come in. Those are only 20 bucks, and it's going to tell you everything you need to know about your gates, channels, strategy, authority, all that stuff. Now, the second best way is to find somebody who does human design or has reports aside from me that you really resonate with. See, it's not that I have better reports than anyone else or anyone else has better reports than me. It's that people resonate with the way I speak and translate this system, same as Karen Curry Parker, who does quantum human design, or any of the many wonderful human design readers out there. So number two is find somebody that you resonate with and buy a report from them. Now, I can't promise that their report won't be like some generic AI generated type of thing, but use your own discernment for that part. Now, the third best way to go about this is to buy the definitive book of human design and just learn from the book. The more you learn about this system, the more it just starts to make sense. Ra describes it as a purely mental and empirical framework, meaning it proves itself. And to answer that question, why do we do the things that we do? I have yet to find a more accurate and powerful system than human design. So I highly recommend, if you haven't already generated your body graph, go get Neutrino Design, generate it there, start collecting your friends like Pokemon, or visit my website if you want it all spelled out for you. Peace.